Right now, Eugene police investigating shots fired. Some schools are on lockdown, another on lockout. Let's go straight to KEZI 9 News anchor Brian Anderson. You're at the top of the show providing us new information, and you've been working to get new information even within the last 15 minutes.
Sean, within the past few minutes, we just saw the Eugene Police Department major crime scene bus arrive here on scene. That is telling as to the seriousness of this situation right now. So that big white van you see at major crime scenes within the city of Eugene, that just arrived here on scene. I still see a few law enforcement personnel. I can't identify with which department they're with because it's a little bit far off in the distance, but we still see a fire department vehicle here. Earlier at the top of the show, there was a paramedics unit, an ambulance here, but that appears to have gone. At the top of the show, we heard from a parent who lives right next door where I am, whose kids go to Monroe Middle School, and he has not been able to get in touch with them yet. He tried to come on property when he saw what was happening, but he was told to get off. So it appears that the campus is still on lockdown here. And now we're also hearing from a neighbor in this apartment complex next door. She was inside and says that she heard the shots fired. Take a listen.
I heard maybe 7 shots, rapid shots fired. It brings back all of the memories from Thurston. You know, I was here at that time and had kids that, no new kids at that time that went to the school. And so, you know, it brings a lot back.
So you hear her talking about the memory of Thurston and the shooting there with this. And earlier, if you missed the top of the show coverage when we spoke to the father of kids who go here, he said that he found out by just happening to drive by the scene. He saw all the law enforcement vehicles at the intersection, Bailey Lane, I believe, where it appears this scene is focused off campus. He saw the lights, though, and his first memory or fear was that this was something happening at his children's school. So a bit of relief that it wasn't something happening on campus for this father, but he's still not been able to check in with his kids, and so they are waiting anxiously to do so. We will, of course, stay right here and bring you any developments as soon as we see them. Reporting live for KEZI 9 News, I'm Brian Anderson.
We also have our reporter Michael Severin out there on the scene trying to get new information from police. A press conference is going to be starting any moment. We're going to bring that to you live. In the meantime, I want to bring in right now KEZI News anchor Matt Templeman. We're talking about the schools affected here. Some of them are on lockdown, others are on lockout, and there's some kind of confusion. What does that mean?
Let's talk a little bit about the difference here. It involves a number of schools, so bear with me here, but we can tell you right now, Monroe Middle School, of course, where all the activity is that Brian just showed us right now, initially on a lockdown status, that has been now lifted to a lockout status. The difference here being locked down means all the kids stay in their classrooms. They do not go from classroom to classroom. A lockout situation means nobody comes into or out of the school, but they do kind of meander around the inside of the campus there. And I shall say that Monroe Middle School, according to Eugene Police and the 4J District, they are going to be continuing with a normal day schedule today, so no need to pick up your children early. We can also give you an update now on Sheldon High School nearby and Buena Vista Elementary School, never listed in the listings before. They are now on a lockout situation, and St. Paul's lockdown is also being released at this time. Let's get back to the desk. This is very interesting. You heard the guy comment earlier about how he said that Eugene Police would not allow him to be on the campus grounds. It's very hard to get through these kinds of situations. Don't mean to cut you off for a second. The press conference is going on right now. Let's go straight to that to get new information for our viewers.
1:05, we had a report of shots fired over here on Bailey Lane. We had a report of one individual who was down, who had been shot. We had police respond. A police and a bystander provided immediate aid to the person on the ground. What we know right now is that person has been taken to a local hospital. They're undergoing treatment for the gunshot wound. We also know that the involved suspect is a male. He is driving a white sedan of some sort, small sedan, either a Toyota Corolla or a small Chevy. We don't have the exact make, model, or plate yet. These subjects, as we understand, probably knew one another, so this is not a random act. So as a precaution, when we get a call of shots fired, we went ahead and locked down Monroe Middle School. It's actually called a lockout, where we keep everybody out and keep the kids inside. We also did lockdown of Sheldon, Buena Vista, and St. Paul. Those last 3 schools have now been released. If you're a parent and you have a child at Monroe Middle School, your child is currently doing school as they always will. And we're working with a plan with 4J right now to figure out what the 3:30 release time will look like for when school gets out. The entire street on Bailey Lane is a crime scene at this point, so we're going to have to manage getting cars in and out. So we ask parents to stay out of the area until the normal school release time to help us be able to manage the crime scenes that we have. In terms of the crime scene, we've called out the Eugene Police Forensic Evidence Unit lab. They're here. They're going to start looking at all the evidence that's been left. We also have a canine from Lane County who's out here, hopefully going to find an article for us. We're doing an article search. The most important thing to know is that the kids inside Monroe Middle School are safe. It was a precaution to lock it down. The incident did not involve the middle school. It was just proximate to the middle school. So hopefully we can reassure parents in that way for that. Any questions?
Do you have an outstanding suspect that has a gun that's out there you're looking for?
Right now we've got a suspect who shot in a white sedan. We don't really have the make model. We know it's a male. That's the only details we have. This is an ongoing, active criminal investigation. So as I tell you details, understand the details may change as we get more information and we start delving deeper into the investigation. So the information about the suspect is all I have at this moment.
Just how far away this happened from Monroe School?
There are 3 separate crime scenes that we're looking at right now. One is across the middle school, one is down the street to the east of the middle school. So we have a very large area that we're looking at.
Were any of the students outside at the time of the incident?
I don't have that information.
Lieutenant, can you describe what basically happened, just what transpired, and maybe you don't know, but what happened?
It's an ongoing investigation, Lauren. I don't have those details right now as to exactly what happened. All we know is that there was someone shot.
And how can the public help you in finding out?
If you're out there and for some reason someone is sending off your spider senses and you think that they may be involved, to definitely give the Eugene Police Department a call. If you're a friend or you have knowledge of the incident, also give the Eugene Police Department a call. Those folks will know who they are.
You mentioned an article search. Can you describe what article police are looking for at this time?
No, it's part of the investigation. I'm not at liberty to give that information, but as soon as we get all those details, we'll certainly be putting out press release.
Any more details on the victim as far as age, status?
What we know is he's a male and he's in the hospital right now being treated for gunshot wounds.
We don't know his condition, Lieutenant?
I do not at this time, no.
And do we have an age on the victim?
I do not know.
Do you know if any bullets hit the school property at all?
I got 2 questions. The first question is, did any bullets hit the school property? I do not believe any bullets hit the school property. And the second question was?
You mentioned 3 crimes.
Correct.
Okay, the one outside the school, one on Luella, and where's the 5th?
Down at a residence. Any other questions?
Three crime scenes? I missed that.
Yes, we have 3 crime scenes. We have a crime scene down across from the school, a crime scene on Luella, and then a crime scene down the street on Bailey Lane. All occurred within about 100 yards.
Is there just one victim?
Yes.
All the same incident, though, for the 3 crimes?
Correct. Any questions?
How long will Bailey Lane be closed off for? I mean, obviously it's an active crime scene, and how are the students going to be able to get home and get bus service?
So that's a great question. Bailey Lane is going to be closed off for as long as we need it to be closed off. I'm anticipating we'll still be here tomorrow, but we are working with 4J on a plan to get the kids home for the end of the school day. So right now I don't have that plan. As soon as we get it, I'm sure 4J will be putting out that information as well as Eugene Police. All right, thank you guys.
Thank you, Lieutenant. We appreciate your time.
Yep.
That wraps up our press conference. That was Lieutenant Jennifer Bills providing us a lot of information on this developing story. Now we can confirm shots were fired. Before it was just police investigating, but this is going to be a big story we follow with schools getting kids home. How do we do that? Roads closed.
Right. Let's recap what Jennifer just was able to inform us now. We have 1 person down. That male has been taken to the hospital. We are also police and a bystander actually administered first aid. This was not long after Monroe Middle School opened up this morning. I dropped off my son there as well this morning. A suspect, a male in a white small sedan, possibly a Chevy, is what they are looking for. This was not a random situation, Eugene police believe. They believe the 2 people or the people involved knew each other. Bailey Lane, again, a crime scene going to be that way until tomorrow. And the forensic lab still on scene there. It will be there for a lengthy time.
This is 3 crime scenes, so it's so widespread. They are asking for people to please be patient, obviously, as they work to process it all. And yeah.
It's very difficult for parents to hear police say, hey, look, stay away, let us do our job. But that's what we're having to do. Stay close to your phone. They're sending the alerts. They're giving us all the information. I have my phone in my pocket. I'm getting the same alerts that you are, and as hard as it is to stay away from the school, we got to let them do their jobs.
Absolutely. And please stay with KEZI 9 News for continuing live coverage. You can also go to KEZI.com. We will make sure we get you up to date on important information, especially also how kids are going to get home, when roads will be reopening. So go to KEZI.com, and we'll be back right after this.
You're watching